I'm trying to find that. And I have cosine is negative 7/15. So cosine squared would be negative 7/15 squared. I'm substituting this 7/15 in for this. They're equal. I'm not worrying about what that is. Okay? And then this will equal 1. That's from this identity. And now I'm going to have sine squared x plus 49 over 225 is equal to, now I know I'm going to solve for this, which means I'm going to subtract this from both sides. So I'm going to rewrite 1 as 225 over 225 in advance. And now when I subtract this from both sides, this will be minus 49 over 225. And I'll have sine squared x is equal to, and 225 take away 49 is going to be 6, 7, 1. So this is going to be 176 divided by 225. Okay? Now, I don't want sine squared x, I want sine x. So I have to take the square root of both sides. And when you take the square root of both sides, you have to do this plus or minus business. So now I have sine x is equal to plus or minus. Now the square root of 225 is 15. And how about the square root of 176? Okay, I think 4 goes into it. So that'll be 16. So 176 is 4 times 44. And 44 is 4 times 4 times 11. Are you with me? Okay, so this is going to be the square root of 16 times 11. 16 times 11 is 176. So this would equal 4 times the square root of 11. So that's what I'm going to put here, 4 times the square root of 11. And yes, you have to simplify those. It's a drag, but we have to do things that don't matter. Yes?
One question with the 4. You said like 4 goes in there?
Yeah.
Well, how does it go in there? I didn't get that.
Well, I want to see if there's any perfect squares in here that I can, you know about that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I could see, you know, 4 goes into 80.
Yeah.
So 4 is going to go into 76.
Okay.
The way to tell if 4 goes into something is if it goes into the last 2 digits, it goes into the whole number.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a rule. So I divided 4 into it and I got 16, right?
Okay.
Okay, and now, so I know that 4 times 44 is 176.
Okay.
Okay, so I have 4 times 44, but 44 is 4 times 11.
Okay.
That's another perfect square.
Oh, okay, got it, got it.
Okay. Now, Rachel, this has a plus or minus, and we have to pick which one it is. Because on a circle, like sine is y value, on a circle, up here or down here could be where it is, same one. So quadrant 3, I know y is negative in quadrant 3. So I'm going to go with negative right here, like that. Okay, now, so that means the cosecant of theta, the cosecant of theta is going to be negative, flipping this over. Okay, so what I'm going to have is 15 over 4 times the square root of 11. Right? Okay, and now I have to do this. And this is going to be negative 15 square root of 11 divided by square root of 11 times square root of 11 is 11 times 4, and I'll get a 44 right there. That would be your answer. And yet you can't use a calculator on these. There's no angle to put in to see if you're right on a calculator. You just have to work it all out like this. Okay, questions on this? These are the hardest ones from this group here. Okay. Which is probably why I was asked about them. Okay, 36 is next. Okay, 36 looks like this. It's if the secant of theta is equal to wait a second. I'm not dry here. If the secant of theta is equal to negative square root of 61 over 5, and we're in quadrant 2, we want to find sine theta. Well, this is the same thing. I mean, secant goes with the cosine, right? Yeah. How about this? How about cosine theta is negative 5 over the square root of 61? Would you agree? Well, now I can use this again. And I don't even have to rationalize that. You know why? I'm going to square it anyways. So how about this? Sine squared theta plus negative 5 over the square root of 61 squared is equal to 1. By the way, this is not the only way to do this. You could probably get into using this or one of these. But I'm always just kind of looking for the simplest thing to do. And I always start by looking at this guy. I like this guy the most. Okay? So now we're going to have sine squared x plus 25 over 61 is equal to, how about 61 over 61? And then I'm going to subtract 25 over 61. And 61 minus 25, I think that's going to be 36, isn't it? Yeah. So this will be 36 over 61. So how about this? The sine of x is going to be plus or minus 6 over the square root of 61. I took the square root of both sides. I just didn't write it all down. I did it in my head. Okay, we're in quadrant 2. And quadrant 2 is here, and y is positive there. Sine is there, so I'm going to go with the plus 1. And this is going to be 6 times the square root of 61 over 61. That would be your final answer.
So if we don't reduce it past the fraction, we'll get it wrong?
You mean here?
No, past the 36 over 61.
Well, you have to square root it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is sine squared, and you have to make it into sine.
Yeah,
How'd it go?
Weird and awkward. I thought you were lying to me about the valley curves.
Did it make you feel hot and vulnerable?
Yeah.
I love that guy. So did they ask you about playing football or basketball or what? And they wanted your opinion. And what did you say? You did it. That's an A. You get an A with that answer. People, if it's in there, they go, I like that kid. That's what you're going to I like that kid. I'm for the Steelers, but I like that kid. That's right, that guy, what? That's right, didn't he go to PV? That's that kid from Chico. It's good. Well done. Okay, we got one more of these to do.
Mr. Woodman, we already did 36.
Did I do 30? Oh, thank you. 39. Doing 39. 39, it says find sine theta and cosine theta if tangent theta is equal to 2, and we're in quadrant 3. Right? So here's what we're going to do. Was it hard to think when they asked you the question?
Yeah.
Let me tell you what, if you ever get interviewed, it's not like you think. I have more compassion for people they interview on TV, especially strangers. The Channel 7 showed up to a softball game. And the guy, you know, like they're going, can we interview you, coach? I'm in the middle of practice, you know. And, you know, I'm holding the thing with the square on it, and they're doing a test. And the longer we're doing this, the more my fear is rising. And he asked me, he goes, so tell us about who are some of the stars on your team? And I couldn't remember one girl's name on the team. I said, I don't know, but if you give me a minute, I'll go over there and ask them what their names are. That's what I said, like that. And anyways, they're like, she's like, and then, you know, it's just weird. It's just, I go, you see that girl right there? I've been coaching her for 3 years, and she's in my class, but I can't, let me go ask her what her name is, and I'll be right back. Like that. So anyways, when I was done with the interview, I was devastated. And I couldn't even get into the rest of practice. I was scared to death of what was going to be on television. But you know what's good? You've heard of Mike Mangus? Okay, well, I taught his son at Mercy High School for a couple of years, and Mike really likes me. And that was really good because they made me sound good. Like they picked out the only 10 words that were coherent when they went together. There's a lot of, and your mouth's dry, and you can't say the word right, they, you know. Oh my God. Okay. Hey, tangent, sine, and cosine. Look at this. You see this here? This is the only place where I see a tangent. Are you with me? Now, if I know this, I can find the secant. And if I know the secant, I can find the cosine. And if I know the cosine, I can find the sine. What? Yeah.
Okay, those two, how do you know when to use those? I thought you always used the one at the
I try to only use the one at the top.
end. Okay.
It's not, now this is, they're asking me a question to where that one there, it's not going to find the answer for me. Because you see, the problem right now is I have to know what one of these are. If I don't have any information on both of those, this is useless. I have to know what one of them is so I can find the other. And one of these relates to this one, and they gave me this one.
So you have to memorize those two.
I wouldn't memorize them, I'd only memorize that, and then just remember if I divide everything by this one, or divide everything by this one, that gives me these two. You see what I did here and here? I mean, that's pretty easy to sort out. You know what, maybe on your test, I'll put these on a piece of paper for you so you don't have to do that. The rest of you, you're going to have to remember how to do it.
What about my friend?
Now, I got a 2 for tangent. So how about this? It wouldn't 2 squared be 4? Watch. 4 plus 1, that's 5. Okay, 5 is equal to secant squared x. So secant x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 5. Now the secant is in, now look, this is in quadrant 3, isn't it? Well, secant goes with cosine, so I'm going to go with the negative. So this is the deal now. I know from that formula that secant theta is equal to the opposite of the square root of 5. So that means that the cosine of theta would be negative 1 over the square root of 5, and that'd be negative square root of 5 over 5, wouldn't it? Are we good? Okay. And now I suppose I could do this. I could say sine theta over negative square root of 5 over 5 has to equal 2. You want to use that one? You get what I'm doing here? Well, if the tangent equals 2, sine over cosine has to equal 2, doesn't it? Amen? Because they're the same thing. Or I could go a squared plus b squared equals 1. Which one would you like to do? They'll both give you the same number. Promise, cross my heart. That's one of those things you don't say anymore when you're an adult. Cross my heart and hope to die. That's an American thing.
Yeah, I figure.
Anyway.
You make a promise.
You discriminated by color.
You know what else I don't say anymore? You know why